creating a UI. So now let's give an instance that you've got some UI, like let's say you have this and you want to, design. Let's start for something. Let's start for UI design. UI design so that we can UI design. Let's say we start for it. So let's look for images. Let's look for image. Let's say you want to replicate this UI because maybe you want to replicate something like this. Understand? So you need to also understand that let's say you have something like this. So you want to replicate something like this. So what's the first step you do? I would suggest that you break it down. You need to break it down. Understand? I made all the resources here. So the pictures are here, this logo is here too, and then the resources. Then these icons are here too. So the first thing I'll do, I'll just duplicate this one. And also, if you duplicated the frame, this is an iPhone 14 frame. I want to lock this frame. So I can just click lock and it's locked. So I can't tap anything. You can't go tap it again once you lock it. So when I've locked it, I can tap it. But if you locked it, you cannot tap it. So that is it about it. So now I want to lock this. I've locked it already. Let me say you have this UI. Let's say it's something like this, but you want to create it. So what you need to do now is that what you need to do right now is that you try and break this thing down. What can you see? You see a text, right? So in our text column, we are just going to put something like this. Let me say you do not have access to this design. Let's say it's a fresh design. Let's say something like this. So, to signify that there was some text here and there was some icons too, but just put something like this. So we are trying to break down this design. So I'm going to use my ellipse tool and I'm going to be using this. You can see I click this. Sorry, let me not be too far. Let me start again. So we start with this ellipse tool and then I'll drag it. And all I'm trying to do is to break this thing down into the usual shape. So that's what you want to do, break it down. So the next one I'll do is that I'll click here and I'll use this rectangle tool and I will stretch it. So once you've stretched it, you want to make sure that you have the second one. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let me show you zoom. Zoom in. I'm going to show you zoom in just a little bit that you can see what's going on. So now I simply got my rectangle tool and I covered this thing. All I'm trying to do, like I said before, is to get the basic shapes of this thing. I'm just trying to understand the basic shape. This basic shape thing too also has to do a lot with your low fidelity designs. Like if you're working with low fidelity, you want to, low fidelity has to do with a lower structure first before you start adding details. So I'm going to first break it down like this. So what I'm doing right now is just drawing rectangles. Just to draw a rectangle, click this rectangle tool and draw. That's all you need to do. So the next one you need to do is that you click this rectangle and then over this, the next one I'm going to do is, let me delete it. So I'll click this rectangle. I want to draw over this thing. Let's zoom in so that we can know what I want to draw over. So over this one, so I'll just, cover it. And remember what we say, we are just breaking down the whole thing. We're just trying to get, the whole idea. So I can use this. Remember, we talked about corner radius. I can use this one to reduce, to make the radius be like this, or I can go here. And just type 25. You can see this right hand side. Please, the right hand side, you can see 25. Yes, it's 25. So yes, you can see it's now, it's now in order. So I'm just covering up the shapes. I can see Control D. If you Control D, you have duplicated. You can see there are two. So let me undo again. Let's do this one. Click it, Control D, and then drag it wherever you want to drag it to. But I'm not yet done. So I want to make this second circle here. So remember, we say we are just breaking it down. That's the first thing we should do because, Even if you're new to UI, you can just at least break it down. So I'm shifting my listen to, to form like the way this one is. You look at the way it was before. So I'm just trying to get that same order. So I can make this one, a much lighter, a much, lighter color with everything. So that's what I'm trying to do. That is exactly what I'm trying to do. So you understand? So that is, how we are doing it right now. So the next thing I want to do is to, have this, then duplicate it, then drag it to the right side of our UI. So if I zoom in, I can have this, this second UI. Then you can see it's not the same size as the other one. So I can just have this here, and then drag this end inside. It's end inside, drag it to the side. And you see, we're almost done. Like we're creating the UI before you know we're done. So we can also have, you can also keep creating. Like here, you can see the text. You can just have this. Use your rectangle to again and cover this side. Remember, we are trying to. This is how to achieve proper replication. If you really want to replicate properly, then you just do this. So the next one I'm going to do is to do, remember, I'm just getting rectangles and I'm drawing them. The next one, get another rectangle and draw over this small side. This where the picture was. So I zoom in like this. And when I zoom in, I can, let me zoom in properly. So I can use this thing to control the corner radius, like we said before, or I can go here and just click 15. You can do it here, you can do it here. Okay, so I've made my second, my listen. So now the next one I want to do is to hold control D again. So you can see Figma has told you have duplicated the selection. So that's what you just done. You duplicated the selection. And so I'll do that, and then I will just I'll expand it. I'll expand it to field. I don't like. Do you remember when we talked about layers? Remember, I said that layers are the layers act like stack. Now let's see this one that I just did now. You can see it's above. What of the? You may ask me what of the small rectangle we drew here? It is there, but it's just below. So if you have like different money stacks, like you stacked money, okay, it will be the one that is on top that will show. Yes, I think money. It won't be the one that is below. So you can see this one we made here is rectangle 31, but why are we not seeing it? Why are we not seeing it? Very good question, because it is below the red box that we just created immediately. So what you want to do is if your layer is down here, you want to make sure that you carry it up. Like just click it and just carry it up. Let me carry it up here. Yeah, just carry it up to this side. How did I carry it up? Let's go back. I simply clicked. I made sure I was clicking it, and then I click. Get, you just click. You drag in the direction you want it to go. You can drag it up, or you can drag it down. You can see this white line is showing. If I leave it, remember I'm still clicking and holding. If I leave it, it's going to drop. So if I leave it here, it's going to drop below. You are not seeing, but we want it to be above. So we need to take it up here. You can see it now invisible. So all you need to do is here, just carry it, drag it up there. See, then you have created your triangle. Remember, this is just a normal rectangle that we drew that has a corner radius of 15. Corner radius of 15. I hope you've not exceeded time. I really hope you've not exceeded time. So that's it. So next one we are trying to do is to let's undo that. Let's you can make these ones to be normal. Like you can give it a you can make it, yeah, you can even make it this one, this particular. You can pick this. Also, I did not taught you how to pick color. So just use this picker to and pick this white color. So now you can see that with the idea of unity, all these other boxes are the same, their structure is the same. So I'll drag it and then I'll put it over this one. You can see the spacing is giving me 9. I'll put it over this one. See, it's maintaining that nice spacing between this one. Remember, we talked about spacing. So you can see that we're almost done. Yeah, who can tell me why this one is outside? Why this? You can see this one is outside. So actually, this content, some part of it was outside, like outside the frame. Um, but if you put it inside the frame, remember we talked about when we talked about the frame clips the content, everything appears inside the frame. Why is this one not appear inside the frame? Because this one, this particular iPhone now, we locked it so we cannot edit anything inside. Now for the final rectangle, which is this one, we'll just come here, we can zoom in, we zoom in, shift, and then what we'll do is that we draw a really neat circle here. You can make it here, you can make it here, but I prefer to take my own down. But anyway, and I'm going to show you a quick trick on, how I did this. So remember we said corner radius, but see if we click it, if we use this corner radius, I see that it's convert all the sides. So you don't want to do that. Let me change the color so you see what we're talking about. So you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is to select the parts you want the corner radius to hold. For example, now, how do you select the different parts? So what you do is that you go to this right hand corner here. When you go to the right hand corner, click this place that seems like a separate sign. So when you click it, what does it separates it for you? So you can see here that this now has different this. Unlike if I press it again, it becomes something, but you can see it. Just look at this. So you can see that they now have if I drag this one like this, you can see that the thing is moving independent of the other one. This one's are in place. So that's what you need to do. So do that, then do the same for this one on the right hand side, and then you can see the way it is. Very interesting, right? Yes. Cool. What's interesting? So remember we still have this other content here. We can simply create our own idea of it. It doesn't need to, be very perfect. Just, when you're starting, you don't need to, when you're starting, it's better not to have everything right. You don't need to have everything right or know how everything's supposed to be. But as long as you start well, you have a chance. And then you know that those separate, you will see use those separate corner radius like here. If I zoom in, so I'll click this thing here. Please make sure you're looking towards this right hand, so your inspector panel. You see this thing here, so I'll separate the corner radius again by clicking it. You see, I've clicked it, so now I can now make it only for this side. Let's do that. Click this, drag, click this, drag, click this, drag. Are you with me? So once we are done doing that, we zoom in. So you can see I'm setting a different, as you can see I'm setting a different, corner radius for the 12 then. And letting every other thing stay in place. So like that, we are done with, the structuring. And with this, we can start, our UI journey. And start our UI journey. Yes, I haven't done this one. This particular icon, let me click this, let me zoom in. This particular icon was made from two shapes. You can guess which two shapes you made this icon from. Just guess. A very good guess is, if you guess the triangle or not triangle, yes, triangle and the stroke, you're very correct. So what we did is we went here and got a polygon, drew a polygon. Then what we did, we went to rotation, you rotate it in the right side. So you want it to be. So when you kick it, you rotate it. Sorry. Let me make sure we can rotate it. So I'll just rotate it to this side and then I'll take it up. So once I take it up, you can see how it functions. You can see, and then I just expanded it, and then gave it a neat corner radius. So next thing I did was to use this stroke to make another neat stroke. You can see the way the stroke is. And all you need to do is just do click and drag, and this shapes come there. So I increase. You can look at the respective panel. You can see I took it from 1 to 2, and then I set it in place. You can see how it moves. So that's what you want to do. That's exactly what you want to do. So that is it about, our icon. So all I did was create a triangle, like we said, rotate it. Just draw your triangle, you rotate it again, just rotate it to the angle you want. Your angle can be the other way. If it's the other way, just rotate it this other way. So since it's this way, and all I'll do is just to make this thing like this, then bring this one down here. So that's exactly how I do it. So that way, you've made your back icon. Yes. You can thank me later by joining the premium course. So yes, that is how you've made your structure. So next we talk about other aspects of how to create this. I don't want to take our time again. We talk about how we use this structure to create an actual UI.